Happy Days star Henry Winkler reveals low point in his 45-year marriage, not my finest hour. The Emmy Award-winning Barry star has written a new memoir, Being Henry, The Fonz, and Beyond. After 45 years of marriage, Henry Winkler has learned a thing or two. The Emmy Award-winning actor, who starred as Arthur Herbert, the Fonzarelli on Happy Days, has written a new memoir, Being Henry, The Fonz, and Beyond. In it, the star detailed how he skyrocketed to fame on the hit sitcom and his struggles with dyslexia. In the book, the 78-year-old reflected on his decades-long union with his wife Stacy. The couple tied the knot in 1978. What's the secret? First, it's picking the right person, Winkler told Fox News Digital. In 45 years, there are ups, there are downs. You need the right person who can face those ups and downs with you. There is also the will to be together. I believe in that very strongly. I've rethought this, and it always comes back to that. The center of the relationship is the ear, not the heart, not the head. Winkler met Stacy in 1976 at a Jerry Magnin clothing store in Beverly Hills. At the time, the Happy Days actor was 3 seasons in, and he was already one of the most famous people in America. This beautiful redhead gave no indication whether she knew who I was, or if she did, whether she cared, Winkler wrote in his book. The future Barry star was smitten, and he went back to the shop several days later hoping to catch a glimpse of the single mom. The actor scored a date with Stacy, and she wanted to go to the movies. Winkler warned her that she wouldn't be prepared for the onslaught of fans eager to approach him in public. She wasn't fazed. I said, I don't know how to describe it to you, Winkler recalled to SSN 24 News Digital. I remember we sat down in the middle, and the entire theater stood up to come to say hello. She turned to me and said, oh. Then we drove to West Hollywood for dessert at a restaurant that no longer exists. I'm driving and waving. She said, who are you waving to? I said, I have no idea. They're waving at me. So I'm waving at them. Winkler insisted he wasn't worried about his fame scaring Stacy away. I couldn't think about that, Winkler explained. It is what it is. I was working as an actor, which was a dream of mine since I was old enough to reason. My fame came from that. I was working very hard and doing really well. I went from being given just 6 lines to being known by the world. I was entertaining people and making them laugh. I had no control of that. Stacy was up for the challenge. The couple married at a synagogue in New York. They've raised 3 children together, Zoe, 42, Max, 40, and Jed, who Stacy shares with ex-husband Howard Weitzman. Before I met Stacy, I felt that I'd never want to marry a woman with a child. I was determined to start from scratch, Winkler wrote in his book. Then I met an amazing woman who had a child, and everything I thought up until then went into the garbage bin. We were wildly attracted to each other, he shared. She was beautiful, she was kind, and she helped me learn to spell. She introduced me to good food. No more TV dinners. And she apparently thought a lot of things about me were pretty good, too. Therapy has also been essential to the couple's lasting marriage. In the book, Winkler recalled how Stacy was diagnosed with cancer in the early 2000s, and he couldn't be emotionally present for her in all the ways I needed to be. I just couldn't process this gigantic news, Winkler wrote. I was terrified, as I know she was, but I was also scared to share my fear with her. Not my finest hour. Winkler recalled how he dozed off during one of her chemo treatments. Then he had to go away for work, convincing himself he was earning the money needed for the part of her treatment that insurance didn't cover. It was a wake-up call. Winkler began seeing a therapist 7 years ago. It has helped him both professionally and personally as he addressed traumas from his childhood. Stacy even attended one of his sessions. I am so proud of him, and so happy for him, and selfishly, happy for myself, she wrote in the book. Because when someone is feeling good about themselves, they're a lot easier to be around. He had moments of self-satisfaction in the past, but they were brief. This time, I really think he knows he's good. Living with an actor can be challenging, nobody knows that the way I do. But Henry is a fuller person now. Winkler, who was diagnosed with dyslexia at age 31, said Stacy has been a supportive force. Throughout his life, Winkler struggled with the learning disorder. He recalled stumbling during table reads for Happy Days. Growing up in the 50s and 60s, a time when little was known about dyslexia, he was often shamed both in the classroom and at home. Those feelings stayed with him over the years.